The Fatui Harbingers are one of the most interesting groups that you'll ever find in Genshin Impact, and they are intimidating at that. Sure, they might do some absolutely diabolical acts, but at the same time, I mean, as in my opinion, I can't help but absolutely adore them. There's really a charm in all of their villainous acts that they do throughout the story, and I'm in love with them so much that I get so excited when a Fatui Harbinger gets released as a playable character. Aside from Tartaglia, I feel like when Tartaglia released, I wasn't really that excited. I was excited for a new character, sure, but the fact that he was associated with the Fatui Harbingers wasn't one of the reasons why I wanted to pull for him. I'd say the first character that I truly felt excited to pull for because they were like a really main part of the story. They really played their role as a Fatui Harbinger, and I just adored them for being a villain and such. That would have to go to Scaramouche. Scaramouche was one of my first Fatui Harbingers that I just fell in love with straight off the bat. And ever since his first appearance in the, I don't know, 1.1, 1.2, I think it was 1.1 version, when he showed up there, oh my god, I already knew I wanted to pull for him. But we definitely had to wait quite some time before he eventually became a playable character, and ooh, the wait was worth it. I do wish Scaramouche retained his original design, because his original design is 10 times cooler than the design for him to be a playable character. I'll say that. Maybe if it was like a purchasable skin or something, that would have been great. That was such a missed opportunity. Like, why didn't Hoyoverse make Scaramouche original design as like a playable skin that you can use on him? Because that would be so cool. I'd really want to see his whole aura. I don't know, I'm just glazing him because like he was really cool. He still is. After Scaramouche, we definitely had to wait for quite some time until the next Fatui Harbinger playable character, and that turned out to be Arlecchino. And I am so pissed that I don't have Arlecchino on my main account, because at that time I was actually playing on my alt account. So I pulled for Arlecchino on my alt account, but I don't have her on my main, which is really unfortunate. So I am just waiting for her rerun. But anyway, Arlecchino is also one of those characters that I got excited for just because she was part of the Fatui Harbingers. And again, there's something about the mystery where these Fatui Harbingers like to tread over the gray line. They're good, but they're not necessarily the good guys. That sense, you know, like there's always this implication that they still do some evil things behind your back. So it's always fun to know that all these Fatui Harbingers, there's something a little extra spice in there. But yeah, Arlecchino is a really fun character to play with, and with her story, it makes it even better. I wish I could give her the nickname Mummy, but throughout the story, she'd prefer to be called Father. So I'm kind of torn with what I should decide here. Now, I will say, after Tartaglia, after Scaramouche, and after Arlecchino's release, the next Fatui Harbinger that should have become playable should have been Capitano. Why did Hoyoverse not make Capitano playable? He is one of the coolest characters in the game. And even before Capitano's appearance, when you go ahead and look at each Fatui Harbinger's voice lines, everything they had to say about Capitano was amazing, so positive. How he was so respectful, how he was so cool and tried to do good. Like, every time I read these voice lines about Capitano, it just made me want to get the character even more, just awaiting for him. And then it turns out he won't be playable because of certain issues that I will not spoil. It's really annoying. It just seems like wasted potential. Like, hey, there's a limited number of Fatui Harbingers. Like, why would you want to get rid of one becoming playable? So I really hope that the next Fatui Harbinger playable character can make up for Capitano's lack of playability. Columbina. Now, as much as I'm obsessed with the Fatui Harbingers, I'd like to make note of something. When you do decide to pull feel for the Fatui Harbingers that are playable. You know, Tartaglia, Arlecchino, Scaramouche. Is there something that you see that's actually common across all of them? Why is their entire playstyle just E-skill and then normal attack? All of them. Why are they all E-skillers? You have to always hit the E skill and just do a bunch of normal attacks, and that's their entire gameplay. Like, I would expect each and every Fatui Harbinger to at least have a different kind of playstyle, but they're all the same, unfortunately. They are still pretty cool attacks, and they're definitely flashy, for sure. I just can't help but feel like there could have been a little bit more design, a little bit more complexity to their kit instead of just E-skill and click, 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 you know? I sure wonder how the next playable Fatui Harbinger is gonna be like. I cannot wait until the new region called Not Cry, because it's expected that there's going to be a lot of Fatui Harbingers in that place. So I'm gonna be drooling the moment I set foot on that island, because being able to witness multiple Fatui Harbingers, that's gonna be a dream fulfilled. Every time you get to see a Fatui Harbinger throughout the story, you can just feel this powerful presence just taking over. Like, they truly are one of the main reasons why I continue to play the game. I'm just too addicted to that group. They're so cool. They're all so awesome. So the question I have is this: which Fatui Harbinger do you hope will become a playable character? Because for me, my dream has already been achieved. The first Fatui Harbinger I wanted to play with, that sounds weird, that I wanted to have as a playable character was Scaramouche, and we got him. So I'm truly happy with that, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.